We are going live.
We're live. We're live.
We are live.
Can you see
Hey,
us? Is
you
the light good?
guys. The light is perfect. Let
Okay.
us know the sound. Is my hair good? We are here in Wellington, New Zealand. But this isn't Julia, Angelique, or Chloe. Who is in the house? Okay, let me explain. I am here in Wellington with the whole family. And we are staying with this lovely lady and her family. They have how many kids? Kids. They're from the United States of America, and she's a Kiwi American. We say Kiwi American because they've been here for how many years?
For 5 years.
5 years.
5 years in New Zealand, from the U.S., from the Midwest, and we love it here.
And they've done like tons of stuff on TikTok. So she's like a TikTok queen. So we are here today for a quick, only 20 minutes. Yes, live Q&A, and we're going to do it all about New Zealand.
All about New Zealand.
Yay!
What do you want to know?
Oh my gosh, you are two together. Ha ha. Yes, we are. We are the two together. Do you know Tara? This is Tara, in case you don't know her.
Yes.
Hey, from Guatemala. So as you guys are coming in, let us know where you're watching from because we love to see that in the very beginning. And just quickly shout out your country so we can see where you're coming in
and
from.
any questions you have, we're ready to go.
Any questions? We only have like 20 minutes because we are up and away. We are in the North Island right now of New Zealand. We are going all the way down to the South Island. So we're going to be doing that today. So yes, cool. So one thing, hey, where are you watching from, Stephen? Hello. Nice to see you there. I'm going to pop it up here.
Yeah, it's the window. Hold on 1 second.
We're in a windy, this is the windy
Wellington, everybody.
windy Wellington. So the wind pulls the doors open and shut all the time.
Yep.
The first day we were here, I thought there was an earthquake because this is a country that's prone to earthquakes. And it was so windy. The whole house felt like it was like shaking around, but it wasn't. So, hey, we've got England in the house. So the UK is very similar to New Zealand in the sense that they all speak English and stuff like that. But if you have specific questions about moving here, how to get visas for here, what it's like to live here, anything like that, just ask because that's what we're going to quickly cover.
If you're wondering.
Compared to the US, maybe.
Yes.
But compared to Canada, no.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's more British in Canada than in New Zealand? I guess you would know. I don't know. I've barely been to Canada.
Well, it's just, so Canada's similar. It has more of a European feel with America mixed together.
Okay.
But it's here you've got, I feel like when I've been to the UK, it's different than here. And I feel like here the mentality is similar to Canada.
That's true. I haven't been to the UK. Don't really know.
We got
Kentucky.
Ooh, Kentucky's in the house. So
nice.
Cool. So cool. So what would you describe it's like living and raising a family here in a nutshell? If you were just to say it in like 3 sentences.
Oh, okay.
3 words. Oh, I'm putting her on the spot.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Living in New Zealand is amazing for work-life balance. From an American's perspective, that was a big change. Just adjusting to the way that they function at work is like a whole topic we could talk about. Also, just the safety for an American to be here is a big one. Especially your kids can walk to school. They can walk around. You don't have to have your eyeballs on them. It's great. And then just, it's so beautiful here.
It is
going to
pretty.
be the top 3 for me, for sure.
Yeah, it's a beautiful country.
Stunning.
That's true. And those are big, huge points because things close earlier here than they do in the US. And so it just automatically creates that work-life balance that you're talking about where people are just kind of more relaxed at a earlier time and they enjoy evenings together and stuff like that. So really fast after that, we've got San Diego in the house and we've got Alabama.
Nice.
Cool. Where are the girls that they're asking? Well, the girls are downstairs. They might come up and say hi in a minute. I don't know. So yeah, but they're getting ready to go and making lunches and stuff like that. So haven't seen anything from this channel since the collab with Drew. Oh, cool. Has traveling been different with COVID? Well, here's the thing.
Oh, great question.
That's a really good question. We are here in New Zealand. And when did New Zealand go COVID free?
I think it was pretty much around June. We've been living
since
normal.
June. So
we can't travel internationally.
Yeah. So New Zealand's actually massive, you guys. When you see New Zealand on the map of the world, it looks like this tiny little country beside Australia, and it looks so small and everything like that. But when you're here, it's actually really big. And so from the top of the north to the bottom.
I wouldn't say it's really big. You think you're saying it's really big?
It's way bigger than I thought.
Okay. It's way bigger than she thought.
I thought.
So it's the same size as Wisconsin and Minnesota.
Okay. Well,
it's 2 states.
Okay, well, it feels much bigger.
Well, because you can't travel easily, like you've talked about before. And so like it takes a while and it's windy and you're going through mountains.
Yeah, and there's a lot to see because we're brand new here. It took us over a year and we still haven't seen the full country.
Oh yeah, there's a lot to see.
There is a lot to see.
And there's a lot to do.
And everything's uniquely different. So you can go to one area and it's different than the other area. So it's not like you're seeing the same thing over and over again. It's not a country where you can go to 3 towns and say you've seen New Zealand.
No.
Because it's so uniquely different. Yes. So you can't really say you've seen New Zealand.
And 20 minutes away is different this way. 20 minutes away, that's different. It's not far to see different.
That's true. So yeah, that's my point is that, you know, it doesn't feel like we've been living a COVID lifestyle here because we've been able to freely move around. And so travel for us as a family, in our case anyway, we've been moving every 2 weeks, even though there's COVID around the world. So we've been moving. And you'll be seeing those in our upcoming videos.
So I've gotten together recently with people that have come out of our, you know, where the quarantine that they go and they're coming into the country. Maybe they're coming back into the country. And just the feeling that they have of just like sitting in a cafe and not having to wear a mask and not, you know, all the rules and the washing the hands. And it's just interesting. They're like, whoa, these people are just like, it feels like a different world.
Wow.
To like just be walking around and everybody's normal functioning without having any concern. And that is just a freedom that New Zealanders are able to experience that a lot of the world is not able to experience right now.
Which is pretty cool.
It's just, yeah. So really thankful to be here.
Yeah. Maria's asking, I'd love to know so far, what's our favorite city and town in New Zealand? Okay, so let's both think of that because we each say, because you guys have traveled throughout New Zealand quite a bit as well. This is a really funny thing, but just my top place probably is like Whangarei and Whangarei Heads, which is in the north.
Really?
Yeah, north of Auckland. You drive north. The weather's beautiful. Yeah. The beaches are gorgeous. The scenery is amazing. You can do some beautiful walks. It's a small area. And I would have to say there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
This is the thing for me about New Zealand, because I get this asked all the time, is that it's more, the question that's more appropriate is what city don't I like? Ooh. You know, because they're so, like we just said, they're so uniquely different. It would all depend on what's interesting to you. Like if you're a surfer, or you like beaches, or you like mountains, or you like hiking, you know, whatever it is for you. It's amazing, like everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, so
I guess it depends too. Are you a lake person?
Right.
Or an ocean person? Because if you're a lake person, go to Rotorua. I mean, like Lake Tarawera, and all those lakes are absolutely amazing. And you feel like you're in the jungle of like the kind of like, you know, the magical forest.
But if you don't like the smells, you know, it's lots of sulfur, a lot of geysers there. So, yeah. So
it's different. And then if you like nature and walking and you don't like a lot of people, all of the South Island is gorgeous.
I just don't think that anybody would come here and be like, yeah, I don't really like it.
No.
Nobody's going to say.
No one's going to say that at all. Someone's saying, I've been watching you since 2018. Ooh, all of our African vlogs.
That's great.
That's so cool. So once the world opens back up again, we will eventually get back to your continent and go discover the rest of the African countries, if that's where you're from. Maybe you're not even from there. So Napier's lovely. Yes, Napier's pretty cool.
Yeah, Napier's nice.
Napier's beautiful. It's also on the water, and there's lots to do.
It can get hot.
Yes.
So, you know, all the northern part of the North Island is pretty much nice, warm weather all year.
Let's talk about the differences between winter and winter. Because there's winter in the, you know, Northern America and Canada.
Yes,
I mean, that is a true winter. And people here talk about, oh yeah, maybe I should try living in Canada or something like that, or Northern US or whatever. And it's like, do you guys really know what winter is?
You don't know what you're saying. Mm-mm. That's what I tell them. You don't know what you're saying.
Any Kiwi that is from New Zealand doesn't know a true winter. Yeah, because they just
like you ski here and you have snow. Like if you go up into the mountains, but like you don't know what it's like to live in snow.
No,
and the cold.
And
shoveling
and shoveling and
scraping off your car and just functioning and just driving in snow and sleet and rain and hail and whatever.
Yeah. No.
And no, it's not fun.
No.
And
here their winters, people literally in New Zealand will wear shorts all winter long. Imagine that. I mean, it's cold. I don't know how they do it.
I don't know how they do it.
But they do. I've seen it. And I'm like, I kept taking pictures for the first 6 months of people wearing shorts and no shoes in the middle of winter.
Did you really?
I'm gonna have to do a collage of people in grocery stores with no shoes.
Oh, you should. That would be fantastic.
Because there's so many of them.
Like there's plenty of viral videos of people walking around New Zealand with bare feet.
Oh, yeah.
That's a
I can't
an
believe
unknown
it.
concept around the world.
Kids going to school with bare feet.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny.
It's
okay,
funny.
Thank you for answering. I'm more like a person. Blessing. Oh, cool. My favorite videos were when we were in Mexico and Nicaragua. We loved our time in Nicaragua. It was just amazing. And we love our time here in New Zealand too. So
This is a great question. What country would you recommend to someone who travels for the first time with a friend? So like what country? Because she's been to 100 countries, guys.
okay.
It's so fun to hear stories.
Oh, I know. Tara didn't really. Well, we just got to know each other.
We just got
over
to
the
know each
couple
other. Like
days,
I've
right?
just seen a couple of her videos. Like, and then
let me
just,
explain how I met you too.
Yeah.
So
Why
we
don't we
met
do that?
online because she's doing like TikToks and Instagram, and we were like, "Hey, who are you, Kiwi American?"
yes,
and
yes.
we're
like
hey,
she just
hey,
reached
hey.
out, and it was like, oh, cool.
And it was
Look at
really
this family.
fun, and they're hilarious and fun, and they've got kids our age, so it's
Yeah.
just like this like click. You know, there's
Yeah.
certain people you just click
Click
with.
with. Yes.
She's one
And
of them.
we're finding that we're quite similar. And it's fun. I think that way, if we met as teenagers, we'd be best friends.
Yeah, it's fun.
Too much
But
fun.
so
Could be
she
dangerous.
was like, she was talking to me. We got to know each other, and we've got a video coming out probably on Sunday about
Oh
why
yes,
New
we
Zealand.
recorded a video.
Yeah, so it's gonna be really good. But she asked me the same questions, like, okay, what are some of the top countries and stuff like that? And if you were traveling with a friend.
Yep.
Okay. Out of the blue, I would say Europe, because once you land in Europe, you can like hop and get
True.
anywhere. And I just love Europe. You know, you can see so much in a small spot. And okay, now let's talk about within Europe. Where should you go? Maybe hit Eastern Europe if you're on a budget, because you can get everything Europe at a fraction of the cost. And a lot of people speak English if you're English speaking and stuff like that. So yeah, you can go Poland, you can go Romania, you can go Croatia, you can go Slovenia. And those are all the videos that we just recently launched. So check out some of those. The food's amazing. Everything's just phenomenal. There's my answer.
Most surprising encounter in New Zealand. What is our most, okay, I have so many good stories about
You do?
this.
Okay, you share, because I have to think about it.
Surprising encounter. Okay. And this, okay, I could share so many stories that then would exemplify and give you understanding of the culture here. So I'll just start with when I first moved here, 2013, and like new here, like I haven't even gotten a cell phone. I was in a town, I'd taken my kids to school. I was driving it. We just got a car and it started smoking. And I was like, oh gosh, I don't have a phone. I don't know anybody. I'm in a different country. Oh, great. So I pull over and I run into like the local little seaside town. It was so cute. And I ended up seeing one of the moms I saw at school. And I'm like, okay, hi, my car is whatever. And she's like, can you take me somewhere? Or I don't know what to do here. And so she's like, great, I'll just take you to the petrol station. So she took me there. And I told the guy what happened. He's like, oh, I'm not doing anything. I'll come out and fix it and look at it. I'm like, okay. I'm like, you don't want to tow it in and like kind of work on it when you want. This is what you would do in the States, right? And he's like, oh, no, I'm not doing anything right now. I'll come look at it. I'm like, okay. And so he comes out, he works on my car for an hour.
Wow.
And he says, oh, yep, you should be good. Da, 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 da. And then he's like, yeah.
He probably said, you'll be right.
Yeah, you'll be right.
You'll be right.
And then and I'm like, okay, well, how much do I owe you? Whatever. And he was like, oh, no, it's fine. I wasn't doing anything anyway.
Unbelievable.
That was logical to him.
Unbelievable.
What?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? Because at first it was a little uncomfortable not to pay you, but I don't have any understanding that anybody would ever do that. I mean, he spent an hour.
Wow.
This is what he does for a living.
Yeah.
And and it's logical in his mind. Oh, I wasn't doing anything anyway.
Okay. We had something very similar. We were driving from Napier all the way to Taupo. And if you guys know that drive, if you're here, you know that there's no gas station in between Napier and Taupo. And we stopped at the last gas station in Napier, but they had an explosion and it caught on fire. So you couldn't pump gas. So we thought, oh, of course there's going to be a little town in between, because there always is, right? Why wouldn't there be a town with gas? We saw 2 stops for electrical car plugs, but no gas station. And so we're getting lower. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? So I saw a truck on the side of the road and I was like, I'm going to just ask him if he knows of any farmers or anyone that I can buy gas from, or if he can like figure it out. So I asked him and he's like, he works with a company called Higgins, I think it's called. And he's like, we're here to help on the road. And I'm like, oh, cool. And I'm like, great. Do you know anywhere that I can buy gas from a farmer or anything like that? And he's like, no. I was like, is there any gas station? She's like, no, you're going to run out of gas. He's just like, thankfully I have gas in my car. And I'm like, great. So I grab my wallet and I go out and I was like going to obviously pay the guy.
Pay him.
Yeah. And he's like, no, I can't. And I'm like, what? No, I'm like, I feel bad. He's like, no, he's like, I'm here to help. No problem. So I was just like, that's crazy. So that's encounter number 1. Encounter number 2 happened 2 days ago.
Oh.
We were with Tara, and we were showing her our why we believe the earth is flat. It was a spoof video we did for April Fools.
Oh, yes.
And there's this lady, so we interviewed people around the world, or what looked to be around the world, but we were in Botswana and in Namibia. And we just asked different people from different countries to participate in our spoof video. So this one girl in Botswana, she was like doing it and whatever. And then we meet through Tara, a couple from Botswana who live here. And we were talking about being in Botswana, and we show her this video. She goes, I know Emily. I know her in the video. And I'm like,
yeah, she knew somebody from the video.
I'm like, you knew this random stranger that I meet on the street that's in my video, and you know her here in New Zealand. I'm like, what? So that was one of those, that was one of those moments. I was like, the world is so small.
It's so small.
Isn't that crazy?
Oh my gosh. So that's a good story.
So there you go. So that is one of the most, so we got Auckland watching. Hey, cool. So quickly, guys, we're not going to spend very much time like we normally do on this video because we got a ferry to
How
go
long
catch.
do you normally?
I don't know. We don't. We just talk, and when people are,
I know it gets easy to talk on live. We just keep going.
Yeah. We must be close. Yeah, you know what their parliament here is called, guys? It's called the Beehive.
The Beehive.
It looks like a beehive.
It looks like a beehive.
And apparently, did you know that it was like sketched on the back of like a serviette or a napkin?
Yes.
And it's like kind of like almost like a joke, wasn't it?
From Lower Hutt.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Hey, from Lower Hutt. We are in Lower Hutt. Oh, hi. I see you at the window. No, I'm just joking. Wave to us. No, anyway.
Have you done the Parliament tour in the Beehive?
We did. We went in and we sat in the green room and we watched Jacinda speak. And
you did? You saw Jacinda speak?
Yeah.
No way.
So cool.
So, but did you do the tour? Because the tour is really cool.
Yeah, we did do the tour. Like they did tour us around, and then we went into the room.
And then you went into the room and watched. Yes.
It was awesome.
You got to go on the day that they wear the wigs.
Ooh, and it's a free tour, right?
Yeah,
from what I remember.
It's free.
Yeah. You could just go. Like
from what I remember, it's free.
Yeah, it's so cool. Yeah, no. I don't think we paid. It was so amazing, and that's it. We booked to come back to see the debate.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, it was really neat.
Did you do that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I like flew an airplane down at her to see if she would. No, I'm just joking. Can you imagine doing that? I was so tempted. I'm like, let's just like float because we were up above.
Up above. No, I know exactly where you're
like,
sitting.
We can just like flick a.
So dare you to do that?
That would have been funny.
She's out of this country, ladies and gentlemen.
Deported.
Get out.
Anyway, you guys, short, sweet, to the point.
Yeah.
Mark questions below. Sunday, we'll be launching a video all about New Zealand, all the top reasons, the pros and the cons. So stay tuned for that one.
Yeah, it's good.
And so how have you landed in New Zealand?
How have you handled the New Zealand sun?
Handled.
How have you handled
Lots of sunscreen. Lots of sunscreen. And I still struggle with it. I've been here for 5 years. Yeah. We wear hats, and I try to stay in the shade and just wear clothing that is like covering. Like I'll wear a jacket purposely, so that even though it's super hot. Yeah. Just to cover up. No, I know, but just trying to get it on the kids. And getting my kids to do it. And like, they don't think they need it, because when you grow up when the sun isn't so strong, like, okay, here's a story. My daughter, we were traveling over Christmas, and it was a totally overcast day in Gisborne. And I was like, everybody needs to put full sunscreen on. That does not mean that the rays are not the same because you don't feel it. Right. And they're like, oh yeah, okay. And they put it all on, but then she said she put it on, but she didn't. And she solid burned like a lobster all the way down. She's like, well, I wanted to test it, and you were right. The sun's super strong here. But so if you want to know more about Tara, go over. She's under KiwiAmericans. Yes. She's got everything New Zealand. Yeah, YouTube, and, TikTok, social, whatever you want. I talk about the differences between New Zealand and US. And I'd love to see you there. Yes. So guys, thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned for our next videos, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Over and out.